Hi everybody, this is Guro Francis from Filipino Martial Arts School, and today is another episode of Bayani Talk. Hi everybody, this is Guro Francis from Filipino Martial Arts School, and today's another episode of Bayani Talk. And today is the very first video that I pre-recorded after the video the Tappy Tappy video that I posted a few weeks ago. I was just surprised in the level of popularity that video has come about, and I want to say thank you to everybody who not only commented but liked it and shared it and subscribed to my channel. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So let me just kind of give you a history of that channel, of that video, excuse me. I'm just very blessed that I get to work with many of the greatest Filipino martial artists from all over the world. And many of them, of course, don't live here near me. One of them is Grandmaster Danny Huertas, and he and I have always kind of exchanged on via messenger about how, like what technique to do, what not to do, kind of stuff. And he's always been very open and very kind and very supportive of what I'm doing here in Southern California. But Grandmaster Danny Huertas lives in Norway, so training with each other is somewhat difficult. But Grandmaster Danny don't let that deter him. Doesn't let him deter him. He still messages me. He shows me videos of what to do. And on one particular Wednesday, he and I were talking about the Tappy Tappy technique and what I can do and what I can't do. And after about almost an hour of conversing, theoretical applications, and I'm only saying theoretical only because not that I don't believe that it's going to work, because I really do believe it's going to work. But I will call it theoretical because it was something that was discussed, and it was something that we can only imagine in our minds, or I can imagine in my mind in how to be able to execute that move. He asked me then to see if I could try it with my students and film it. So I said, sure. So I went home that night, and I was teaching that night, and I tried to show my students, but unfortunately it's still a little bit above their level of skills. And one day they'll get there, but at that moment they weren't quite there yet. So I kind of decided to dumb it down to the Tappy Tappy technique. And I had one of my students' sisters, Sarah, film it for me so that that they can see it. So it was a Tappy Tappy technique where it demonstrated the movement of the stick across the body, as well as the checking hand in conjunction with your stick hand. Then we kind of broke it down, and then we went to empty hands. Well, then I sent it to Grandmaster Danny, and Grandmaster said, "Oh, Brad, magaling yan. That's really good. That's really good basic." And I'm like, "Wow, that's basic for you, huh?" Well, he is a Grandmaster, and I'm just me. So I'm just kind of that, I'm just like, that's like towards my top level of skills, but he apparently has way more skills. And again, that's why he's Grandmaster Danny Huertas, and one of the greatest Filipino martial artists I've ever known. So afterwards, he said, "Brother, you should post it." And I'm like, no thanks, Grandmaster. Because he asked me then why, because I'm like, I'm tired of body shaming. And people body shame me all the time. They always tell me, you're too fat to be a Filipino martial artist, you're too fat to be a martial artist. And I even got once, you're too fat to be Filipino. Go figure. And, this is something that I've have known my whole life. Body shaming has been, being fat shaming has been a part of my life, I guess, for as far back as I can remember. And I know many people don't do it consciously, but they do. People from my church have done it multiple times to me. My friends have done it multiple times to me, and even some of my relatives have done it to me. But I'll even share a story where I remember I was with I was at a party, and there was a buffet line, and you're picking up food, and I wasn't getting like more food than anybody else around me. I was getting the right amount. And one of my friends who I've known practically our whole lives looked over. He goes, "Hey man, you're gonna eat all that? Are you sure you shouldn't eat that, right?" And I was so like shamed into it that I just put the plate down and I just walked away. Another time, a pastor actually came up to me and asked me, "Did I have lunch ready?" And I said, "No, pastor, and unfortunately, I won't be able to because I have to go to a meeting right after church." And his response was, "You don't need to anyway. You're too fat." And I'm like, and I looked at him, I'm like, wow, that's highly insensitive of you. And I don't think it's appropriate for you to say that to me. You're one of your, and he wasn't even my pastor, he was a guest pastor. And he apologized, but I'm like, it's still kind of still kind of hurt. So body shaming has just been a part of my life. And, I just kind of accepted it. And then as a result of that, I've always told myself, I don't need to prove to anything to anybody. And that's why I never posted video of myself, or at least I limit the videos that I post of myself, especially doing Filipino martial arts. But after I showed Grandmaster Danny the video, Grandmaster Danny goes, no, brother, post it. And I'm like, I don't know, I'll think about it. Then I shared it to a few other friends, and they're like, brother, you should post it. Until finally I shared it to one friend. I'm not going to mention his name. But I post, and then he goes, brother, you should post it. Hell, I'll post it. And he did post it. And at the beginning of the email, it says there's three things that I believe, there's three truths in my life: God, family, and FMA. And then I wrote a letter said to all the people who says I couldn't move, blah. And and it went well. I mean, it was like over 5,000. Last time I checked, it was over 10,000 views. And then I posted it later that day. And last time I checked a few minutes ago, it was over 11,000 views, over 150 shares. I mean, I'm like, wow, this is overwhelming. Now, to you guys, maybe 11,000 might not seem a lot. It might not even be considered as viral per se. But if you look at how big the FMA community is, 11,000 people, it's quite a lot of number. And I would say 99.99% of them was extremely, extremely supportive. There's always going to be those knuckleheads, but it was extremely supportive. And what was so amazing was the thing that really touched me about how many people was inspired by it. There was a mom that posted that her son has always been body shamed himself, and now he doesn't go out. I was so touched by that. I was so brokenhearted by that I actually gave this person my number if their son ever wants to talk to somebody. And it was message after message about something like that. And it made me realize that by not posting any videos of me doing FMA, it wasn't because I had nothing to prove to those people. Well, in fact, my friend Arnold told me what ended up happening is you actually let them win. Now you're in hiding, and now I'm a recluse. And I'm like, gosh dang it, he's absolutely right. So posting that video was not a sense of me showing off, but it is a sense of liberation. It is a sense that I am no longer ashamed to do FMA and show it to the whole world. Now, I'm always going to have to accept that there's going to be some knuckleheads out there that's going to question my skill or not. But you know what? I would say 99.999% of those people was extremely supportive. And what's even funnier was that when I finally showed my mom later that evening, I'm like, Mom, I want to show you something. She gave me a response that, of course, I've known my mom my whole life, but I wasn't expecting this level of response from her. When she saw the video, she goes, praise the Lord, sa wakas, which means finally in Tagalog. I'm like, huh? And she goes, I've been praying that you post a video of yourself for so long now, you doing your skills. And I'm like, Mom, you've known me doing FMA for for 20 plus years. Why is this different now? Because she goes, you know how many times that every time we go out to any of your events, that people look down on you, and it hurts me as a mother, as your mother, that they don't think that you are capable. And so now people can start seeing what you can and can't do. So, ladies and gentlemen, folks, what I'm trying to say is, I wasn't trying to show off when I did that video because it was such a, let's face it, it was a low budget video. It was put together on the fly, even though I'm very grateful to Sarah for filming it. And to Mike to letting him be my dummy on that one. It was a low budget video, and that video was just, again, a sense of liberation. I was freed from the fear of being told that I was not a Filipino martial artist. Because guess what, folks? My name is Francis Serrano, and I am a Filipino martial artist. And anybody else can be a Filipino martial artist. If I can do it, so can you. And I'm no longer going to hide it anymore. So, for those haters, well, keep on hating. And for those who support and love and kind of continue to support me throughout this whole thing, maraming salamat. Thank you, and God bless you all. Until then, my name is Guro Francis Serrano from Filipino Martial Arts School. Peace out, God bless, and keep swinging them sticks.